Be me, a witcher. Sustain myself on tendies. Mostly deal with creatures called neckbeards. Steal good boy point cards from them. I need supplies to keep hunting. Ran out of Chad decoction during last encounter. 600-pound big boy with mommy home. Nearly died. Story for another time. GIF. Chads have a gland on top of their liver that delivers alpha hormones directly into the bloodstream. Need this in order to make Chad decoction with alchemy. Gland needs to be potent for it to be effective. Passed up many lesser Chads. I've found the one. Stalk it for a while. Although there are many types of Chads, this Chad appears to be the focal point of a large group of Stacy, Roasties, and Jocks. Stacies all service the Chad sexually. Roasties seek to usurp the Stacies while befriending said Stacies. Jocks feed off the Chad's leftover pussy like a pack of wild hyenas. In turn, they boost the Chad's ego, which fuels the magic the alpha gland runs on. It's a simple but aggressive ecosystem. Buy some tendies with my dwindling good boy points supply. I set my plan into motion. I have to isolate the Chad, make a fake Instagram profile, load it with pictures of an attractive woman, message the Chad. It doesn't take long for it to respond. The larger the Chad's ego, the more dangerous it is, but easier to lure. Tell him we can meet at a bar to watch the sports ball game, and then bang. Cover my scent with Axe body spray to avoid detection. Go into the bar. Use the last of my good boy points to get a drink. Applejuice.png. Lay in wait in a booth in the back. Although there aren't many women in here, I can smell their vaginas moistening in unison. The beast approaches. It enters the bar. 7'2", easily 300 pounds of pure muscle. Backwards cap and a tap-out shirt on. So many rings adorn its fingers. I can't be sure they aren't made of gold. Its chiseled chin brushes against the doorframe and slices a chunk of wood from it. I don't think it even notices. Old Spice and Drakkar Noir seeps into my nostrils. My witcher physiology keeps a majority of the scent-induced fear at bay. The bar goes quiet from the sheer presence of the creature. Through some witchcraft, the music changes mid-song to dubstep. Something comes in behind him. The jocks start filing in, each one wearing a different jersey. All wearing flat-brimmed hats with the price sticker still on. One is wearing white socks with Nike sandals and basketball shorts. I managed to stifle my urge to vomit. They weren't supposed to be here. I'll have to improvise. The jocks get the permission nod from the Chad and go sit at the bar. They do little without prior approval. The Chad sniffs the air. Its senses are keen. It's searching for the promised putang. Millennia of apex predator evolution make Chads a lethal foe. Men in the bar shift uncomfortably in their seats as he surveys the area. The women begin to bare their breasts as an offering. It huffs twice. I can sense the anger beginning to build, engorging the alpha gland with hormones. Its ego has been challenged. The jocks can sense the hormone change and are getting restless. They squirm and try to hide their envious erections for the women who are offering themselves to this exemplary specimen. I need to think fast before this monster starts killing the men and sexing the women. The Chad bellows,
"Bro, I think that bitch stood me up, bro."
The jocks reply with a chattering chorus of subsequent bros of their own. They are distracted. Finish my apple juice. Throw a samum firebomb at the bar. The alcohol catches fire and explodes. Jocks go flying. A few are on fire, the others are stunned. The bartender is a smoking husk. Draw my sword. I leap on a table and sprint across tabletops. Attempt to close the distance between me and my prey. The Chad is more powerful than anticipated. I've underestimated its abilities. The beast notices me right away. In a single motion, it picks up a nearby man with one arm and throws him at me. I take a hit directly to the chest and fly back across the bar. The man dies on impact. People scream and chaos ensues. The sheer force of the throw has broken some of my ribs. It's hard to breathe. I struggle to stand. The jocks are beginning to recover. One charges at me with such reckless abandon that it drops its jewel. I put the lesser being down with a crossbow bolt in the eye. Meanwhile, another, still ablaze, tears the leg off of a chair. What now, you piece of filth.jpg? Screaming its fantasy football stats from last year, the creature runs at me and takes a wild swing. I'm able to counter the sloppy blow and cut down the beast with a two-handed slice. The sword sinks into its torso and cleaves it down to the hip. The body slides limply onto the floor, almost peacefully. I pull my sword out of its corpse and ready myself for the next attack. The patrons are beginning to run out of the bar in fear. They are clogging the back door in their panic. My escape plan is now impossible. The worst is yet to come. I didn't kill the Chad in time. It lets out an almighty roar that breaks the remainder of the glass in the bar. Its massive 5-foot dick tears out of its jeans. The girth is unbelievable. The Chad begins swinging it around and one of the jock gets too close. The jock's skull crumples as the gargantuan peen smashes its head into the wall. The remaining jocks know the fury of his cock and cower behind their patriarch. They murmur intelligible threats from the shelter of his wrath. Skittish and cowardly things, the Chad charges. His skin cannon is obliterating everything in sight. Splinters of wood from tables and chairs along with the viscera of the dead join the smoke in the air. I swiftly load another bolt and fire it directly at the Phoebus. The bolt skitters across a vein and bounces away. I am hurting bad now. With great effort, I jump as high as I can before its death pipe finishes me for good. I miss its flesh spear but slam directly into the Chad's torso. The monster's love organ pierces the bricks and the entire back wall explodes out of the back alley. I soar through the air and land in a pile of rubble. Bodies of those who were trying to escape litter the ground. The Chad is unharmed. His wang swings in the wind as he approaches me slowly. The monster leans in to speak to me. The smell of Jaeger bombs, black and milds and stale muff is suffocating.
What, so you catfish me, bro? Huh? Are you gay, bro?
The foolish creature has no idea what it has just done. With a weak breath from my battered body, I was able to complete the spell. No you. The Chad's face turns red. Its eyes begin to bleed and bulge out of its face. The foul thing's skin begins to blister as it bursts into green and black flames. The Chad begins to roar louder and louder. I cover my ears as to not go deaf. The beast's head and its mighty mushroom explode simultaneously. I am showered with bits of penis amidst a wave of blood. I cough up some blood of my own and stand. Out of fear or delusions of replacing the Chad, the jocks have fled. I cut the Chad open with my hunting knife and retrieve his alpha gland, putting it into my satchel. I take a steep draught from my swallow bottle. I search the Chad and find its dad's credit card. It'll have to do until I can recover and get more good boy point cards. I take his belt buckle as a trophy. Bamf is carved expertly into its precious aluminium. Rain starts to fall. I limp through the downpour, rinsing the Chad blood off me. I should be okay for now, but I need to get the stench off me before I get raped by roasties. Vanish into the night.